What is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a good morning. Fun Strats, Tom Lee says that the Fed is done raising interest rates as inflation is now on that lower path. Is he right? I don't know. Shiba Inu addresses break the record amid the Shibarium tease. We now have more Shiba Inu holders than ever before. We're also going to compare why BNB and Bone are probably pretty similar, and Bone is going to be set for a gigantic run. Also, when you saw the dip from SHIB in the last couple of days, that was because Voyager Digital sold 1.4 trillion SHIB. But the good news is they've now sold out. And if you ever want to know who the owner of Voyager Digital is, look at the flight log of some guy named Jeff and imagine that he looks like everybody on that flight list. This is not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleev. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Bleeves. This is Breakfast with Bleeves. It's Adam and Bleeves, not Adam and Steve's. Or, I don't know. I read that somewhere. I don't even know if it's right. Here's what I do know. I'm going to fill you up with all of the crypto knowledge that you need to get you through the day, especially asking the question, will Shibarium launch today? The answer is probably not. But SHIB is one of the big sponsors. In fact, they're one of the, I think they're called the Terabyte sponsor, along with XDS and I want to say Coinbase, because it looks like there's going to be a lot of announcements over the next day or so in this little hacking conference known as ETH Toronto. So super exciting what's going on in the ecosphere. And by the way, if you come to their website, then you're going to see that the big sponsors are, in fact, XDC, SHIB, and Base, with the gigabyte and megabyte sponsors being Avalanche, Corium, Arbitrum, Axelar, Giddy, Metis DAO, Kraken, Foundry, Metasil, Stratos, Brave, dApps. There's a lot of people out here. And then there's the smaller ones. There's a lot of scope here of cryptocurrency companies that are sponsoring ETH Toronto. So if you missed out and you didn't take your project to ETH Toronto, man, you probably missed out on an opportunity to really showcase yourself to a lot of different and new companies that you hadn't previously seen before. So, but let's get into the news of the day. First, we're going to say Kai is probably high because he says hi all and misspells it. Keg Drum, let's sure hope so. I don't think so. I think it's going to be tomorrow, or I think at least we're going to see tomorrow that it's going to launch the day after or something like that. I think we're in the final. I think we're in the final stretch here. Any day now, they're just going to say, "Look, PuppyNet has stopped and ceased. There's nothing going on. So now is just the calm before the storm. It's getting ready to break." And look at what happened to Leash overnight. When we look at the price action, Leash was up to $700 at one point earlier, about an hour ago, I want to say. But good morning, Richard Caldwell. Trail Bus is in the house. Good morning. Alt Sniper, hola. Jay Locke is in the house. Good morning. Jay Crypto. So Bone and Leash on the Kronos network now. Bone and Leash can be wherever they want. All you have to do, Jay, is pair them with something. So, you know, that's how it happens. Meat says, good morning, everyone. Richard Nelson, let's go SHIB and Bone. Mateus says hi. Tony P in the house. Chris says, Bleeves faded my message about Doves. I did not fade the message about Doves, but I don't, just because I don't invest in every single project that somebody says, hey, check this shit out. I just like nobody. Look, nobody has the money for all of that. Ugh. J Manuel, Jeff T, F and Daniel, Diamond Nuts is in the house. RW7610 is in the house. Tom Collide, they call me Bleeves, and I'll do anything you want me to. They called me Bleeves. I'll break a crypto chart down for you. If anybody knows what that song is, let me know. If you don't know what that song is, then you know what I mean? All right. So anyway, the Fed is done raising interest rates as inflation on a path lower, says Fundstrat's Tom Lee. Fundstrat's, the reason you haven't heard them before, they are still a billion-dollar company, but Fundstrat's global advisors managing partner Tom Lee thinks the U.S. Federal Reserve is done raising its benchmark interest rate. Now, we're going to have to see that from the CPI next month, because the Fed is going to come out next month and do it. So, we'll see the CPI at that point, and then we'll have a much tighter rein on what is going to happen there. So I don't know that this is true or not, but at least we're starting to get that the people who are looking and saying, I think that this might, I think that this might be the end of it. And maybe that is happening. Looks like, let's go check over here. 86% right now are saying that the rate is going to go up by 25 basis points. 13% are saying 50 basis points. So, I think that probabilities of no change right now are 86%. So it looks like they are hedging right now at this point to say the Fed is going to stick with the current level, and that there's a 13.5% chance right now that they're going to raise it at the next meeting. So there is a possibility that we see something big happen in this market within the next 30 days. So maybe, just maybe, we're in for some good news. Also, while we're at it, Shiba Inu addresses break a record amid the Shibarium tease. According to data from Into the Block, Shiba has now reached a new record with an all-time high number of addresses, 3.54 million addresses. SHIB is witnessing a surge in activity, with addresses spiking 14.18% last week, but not from these dildos right here. And if they're not dildos, they're at least magnets for them, right? Voyager Digital, run by Stephen Ehrlich. Isn't Ehrlich the name of the guy? TJ Miller, didn't he play Ehrlich on Silicon Valley? And wasn't he a real seedy scumbag type guy? Maybe he was modeled after Stephen Ehrlich. You never know. Voyager sells 1.4 trillion Shiba Inu, but there's good news for SHIB. So, despite the massive sell-off by Voyager, SHIB's price remained resilient. The token has seen a surge of over 14.2% in the past week. Coming over here and checking out the chart. Now, we are seeing a slight sort of recovery right now, not nearly the type of recovery that we would need to have that breakout, to get that big move that I was projecting and saying. So, guys, I might be taking the big L on this one, because it just starts to look like right here that they just ain't loyal. They just ain't, sometimes they're just not loyal. So it looks like maybe, just maybe, we might have could this be the end of it? I guess that's the question. Is this the end of the run for SHIB? I don't think it is. I think that we got that little spike right there. I think that we're probably going to continue on. I think that we are still in kind of breakout mode here. We're in this channel, but we got sidetracked with all of the selling. And if you kind of zoom this in, you see like we were sitting up here at a really nice number, and then it starts to just crumble right here, right? Then we see a little sideways action as people try to hold the price, and then we see that this was all right here. What we now know, Voyager Digital selling off. Now, we didn't get the recovery, but then we got this right here, probably Voyager selling the last bit. Now, we're told that Voyager Digital has sold off, so we're not going to see the same thing happening. So maybe, just maybe, we'll see how this all plays out in the long term. So perhaps I still think that we're in this breakout mode. And by the way, When we zoom in on SHIB at this point, here's what you see. You see this little wick down here. This is where you have the breakout, right? This is where you're expecting to see the breakout, and it runs up and it hits the 50 SMA, which coincidentally is coming down perfectly along this this descending channel, right? And the descending channels generally do break to the upside. So I do think that there's upside momentum, and we might be seeing the breakout happening right now. Not confirmed, but it's possible that that's what we're seeing. However, so we got this move to the upside, and then after we got the move to the upside, it got rejected off of this line, which happened to be all of this right here. And then we moved back down, but instead of even coming to, you could say we got to the heart line, but really what we got was this sort of resistance that's coming across right there. So that caused a bounce back up, and it hit the 50 SMA and resisted again, and it came back down and it tested this line one more time. And now we're back in pump mode. Maybe over the next few hours we'll have to confirm, but we did get this wicking down here at the bottom. Not strong, by the way. Seems to be a lot of fighting. Now, part of that fighting, by the way, is the American markets opening up for the morning. So I think that, you know, maybe we've got a little bit more room to go, but we got this nice wick right here formed. So maybe we see a breakout to 10.4, get a little rejection off of that, and then we start to take off. We're just waiting right now for that announcement of Shibarium, which should be coming at any moment. Like, we really should get some kind of update today or tomorrow. If we do, the FOMO is going to build up. It's going to start building up, and we'll see that sort of breakout. So wish everybody luck. Now, Voyager Digital, like I said, sold 1.4 trillion SHIB tokens. The price got eaten up. We still have the zero. Major resistance is expected right here at 1235. So this is the line I told you guys before that we're probably going to have a rejection off of, and we haven't even made it to that area yet. We still got a long way to go, but you know, that's where we were predicting that it was going to bounce right here. Yeah, the article kind of referenced that they believe that it's that the sell-off is done. They had 1.4 trillion and they sold them all off. They've been tracking the wallet. So if they say it's sold off, then it's probably sold off. So anyway, that means that for investors, today's or tomorrow's Shibarium launch should be taken with a grain of salt. As usual, the crypto market, it could be a buy the rumor, sell the news event, as the impact of the launch might only be seen in the long term over the coming months. In this case, the 200 EMA at 938 will be a key support to defend for the bulls. So there might be some resistance, a little bit of breakdown coming, or we see a nice little reversal happening as we get a little bit closer to this, because people are looking to pump. So it's curious to see how the market is going to react when we finally get the news on what is going on with SHIB. But Voyager Digital out of the pick, and look at this guy. Look at this face. This is the face that only a mother could smother. You know what I mean? This is the guy who is dumping SHIB tokens on the market for the last couple of days. This is Stephen Ehrlich. This is the owner, the failed owner, the guy who couldn't do it, the guy who's not good at crypto, the failed Voyager Digital guy. But hey, look, on the bright side, he wears a tie. So that's got to mean something, right? So anyway, Stephen Ehrlich, failed investor, failed Voyager Digital CEO, continues to fail. But SHIB influencer right here points out the differences and the similarities between Bone and BNB. And I'm going to point them out for you right now, because this is significant, guys. If you don't have a little bit of Bone in your crypto wallet, you might be missing out. Okay, I'm going to skip number one because it's really just kind of laying the groundwork. But BNB, the gas token on Binance Layer 1, saw its supply landscape transform in a groundbreaking way. Supply shock rocked the boat as validators and delegators staked away a hefty chunk. Crypto projects flocked to build on Binance, leading to more supply shock, a brilliant strategy to foster adoption. Then the supply cap was 250 million tokens, which drove home the point that scarcity can indeed boost demand. Now, meet Bone, the star of the upcoming SHIB Layer 2, similar to BNB and Bone, is set to be the gas on Layer 2 Shibarium. fueling transaction activity. The plot thickens. Just like BNB attracted new projects, Bone is positioned as the go-to token for liquidity pools on Shibarium. As new projects embrace Bone, demand surges, and its supply scarcity story gets even more intriguing. The hold tight because Bone's supply is set at 250 million. So it looks like we have a shortened supply, similar to BNB. Remember, when we look, by the way, if you just get a similar sort of idea of the market cap here, BNB's market cap is 36 billion. The current market cap on Bone about 500 million. So we're talking about what is that? 70x. Like, Jesus Christ, that's a gigantic move to be in the stratosphere, and that would lead to a price. There's more, but we're looking at a price of what, 150? Because we're trading at like $1.50 right now, 75x, 125, 130, 140. So it would be a significant run on Bone if, in fact, this is what happened. Just as BNB's trading journey spread across exchanges, expect a seismic trading volume surge when Bone finally graces these platforms. The shared potential for a significant supply shock is undeniable. To sum it up, the echoes between BNB and Bone are uncanny. From supply scarcity through staking to their pivotal roles in two distinct layers, their stories intertwine. Stay tuned for the thrilling Shibarium Layer 2 launch, which is coming very, very soon. So now comes the question, what is about to happen on the charts? Now, before we do that, look at what happened over here on Leash over the last couple of days. We've gone from 528 all the way up to $681. So just a seismic run on Leash over the last couple of days. And you might be asking yourself, because you don't know, what is Leash? Leash is the perks token for the SHIB universe. What you get from Leash is you get enhanced Bone rewards. You get the ability to buy Shiboshi NFTs. Oh my God! And then I forgot the last. Oh yeah, and you get early access to the SHIB Metaverse game. So there we go. Bone has 250. Bone has 250 no matter what. 230 plus 20 is 250. So that's always going to add up to 250, no matter how many ways you break it apart until it's actually burnt and no longer on the chain. It still mathematically applies to the equation on whether or not that's where the value comes from. It's 250 divided by marketing, the marketing cap and multiplier. So that's the way that it works. Whether the 20 million are allocated to validators or not, it's always 250 million until the burns start and we start to see a dwindling of the supply. And if you ever wonder, you can always come over here and you can see that the max total supply here does say 230. But when you come over to Bone, it does say that the max supply right now is 250. So as this stuff starts to come out, remember, people are going to be rewarded. So 250 is still the number and the line to gain before anything else. So, but back to Leash. So 681. Now we're having a retracement. Where does the retracement go? If you consider this kind of pump down here, you might see it come down into this region at 600. Could be on a longer term that you're looking at. This really doesn't look like the breakout spot, but if so, then we're looking at, and this makes a lot more sense, that maybe this 61.8 level at 590 and maybe even down here into this zone right here at 564 might be the reverse movement. So Bone 149, you can see it's starting to consolidate, and you're getting a lot of consolidation here, and you're getting a lot of possible. You can get a lot of possible breakout. Now, this, by the way, when I see this coming from the top up here, it looks like it's going to break to the downside. So it is possible that the early and preliminary run on Shibarium might be done. Like we might be completed at this point because it's just not looking the greatest. However, there's a lot of green here happening in the last little while, and we should be seeing a tiny little breakout starting to happen over the next couple of hours. Remember, ETH Toronto is gonna be a big event. We are not done in the short term. The question now becomes, what's going to happen in this long term? And we're starting to see the pump on SHIB. We're not seeing a gigantic pump. I want to stress that we're not seeing this big move right now. But if you look right here, hey, what's going on, Eddie? Advantis AI in the house. Let me point this out right here. This is starting to, you can see it right here, was under. Now it's moving a little bit like it's about to reverse and turn around. And this thing's probably going to move up here and touch this, maybe wick down. But what we need to see is kind of a bounce upwards to get to this 10.4 sort of level. And then hopefully after we get to this 10.4 level, a big push up into 10.66. That's the quote unquote method to the madness right now. I feel like we're in that position where there's got to be a play, there's got to be a move, and there's got to be a final move. Now, if we just consider that Voyager Digital did their little sell-off, they did their little attack on crypto because, again, I mean, what can you say about Voyager Digital that's all that hasn't already been said? I mean, Stephen Erlock is a bad investor, sure. Stephen Erlock is potentially one of the ugliest men in crypto, obviously. Stephen Erlock is Tiny McDingdong. That's his Telegram profile. Most likely. I mean, I can't say for sure. Nobody ever knows it. That Stephen Erlich was the actually, he's not a real person, that he's actually just a mattress that SBF used to lay down with Caroline Ellison on. It's potential. I don't know for sure. Here's what I know. He sold 1.4 trillion SHIB to try to wreck the chart because he needed to make a profit because he is a bad investor. By the way, bought those tokens way up higher than where it is right now. I do want to add. So yeah, he is just, he's just, Richie's in the house. What is going on, my man? I hope you're doing pretty good. Good to see you back here, man. But anyway, so SHIB is going to have a pump probably to this level, rejection again, 10.4, 10.66. I don't know if it breaks out. I don't know if we have another one of these runs. I think so. I would like to believe that that's what's about to happen, but it's very difficult. It's very difficult. The market, the U.S. market is about to open in like 5 minutes. We're starting to see the money coming back in. You see here, we got a couple of green candles over the last couple of hours. But we did have this big sell-off last night from the Asian markets. And again, look, I keep saying this, and if you didn't see me on Evan Aldo's show, he and I were talking about this the last couple of days, that 1.145 trillion is just a line of gain right here that we can't seem to overcome. Like, it is a massive, we get it a little bit over here, and then boom, rejected back down. We were over for a little bit up here, but it could not be maintained. 1.178 became the spot. So we're going to have to use 1.145 trillion at some point pretty soon. We're going to have to see, we're going to have to see something here happen. Otherwise, then we're headed down. And by the way, when I say down, remember the what do you call it? Michael Burry, I want to say. Michael Burry just shorted the S&P $1.6 billion. And Michael Burry is the big short guy, right? So he put, Scion Asset Management put a $1.6 billion to work betting against the stock market, saying that he thinks that the S&P is about to tank. He thinks that it is about to tank. 3,200 for me, man. His name has reached legendary status, blah, 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 blah. Now, by the way, to point this out, I do want to stress this. Several times so far, he has been completely wrong about cryptocurrency. So take the cryptocurrency errors that he's made out of the equation here. But he is betting against the NASDAQ and the S&P to the tune of 886 million and 739 million. He is shorting the entire markets. So interesting to see exactly what it is that, what is he seeing? It could be that he's seeing that this market just can't grow anymore. Maybe he's looking at this bearish crossover right here and seeing this as a great opportunity that the market has to come down. It has to start retracing because the S&P, the S&P, by the way, did, I can remember not that long ago. This is the hour chart, by the way. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with you, boys? I remember when we were fighting right here at 420. And why did they stop? By the way, I got to ask the question, why did the stock market turn 420 into resistance? Is that because they they partaking? Are they? I gotta think there's something going on here. But 420 was resistance, and you can see it like this is the 420 line right here. Boom, resistance, resistance, resistance. For a long time, 420 has been resistance. You goddamn chronics. But then it started to move. It's had a big significant run. Crypto, by the way, did not. It decoupled at this point. It had a nice big run over here, bounced down here on the 50 SMA, and now it's starting to reverse. I want to say maybe NASDAQ probably flying too close to the sun. When you're at the all-time high, I think it's safe to say that you're probably gonna. He probably made a great bet, right? Like he's probably making a great bet here, thinking that it has to come back down here into this at least resistance spot. If he makes this call and he makes this call right, then good Lord, you know what I mean? Like he is, he's just won 1.6 more billion dollars to his little enterprise. So it's very possible that he's very prescient in this, and he's made a great and phenomenal play. So I don't know how this is going to play out, but certainly seems that way. But we'll find out pretty soon. So Bitcoin is still. Let's go look over here. Bitcoin is still. God damn it! Ugh. Hate when I do that. Bitcoin is still in this little area right now. It has not broken out, has not moved in the fashion that I thought that it would. But here we are getting close to that line one more time. The last time we got to that line, what happened? Significant bounce. Where are we at right now? We're getting close to that line again. When does that line show up? 6 days from now, 5 days from now, anytime right now, we can see a dip down here, and then we can see just a rocket ride start to happen one more time. We're in the thick of things to the point that cryptocurrency has to make a move, and it's going to have. If it doesn't make this move, then there's going to be a breakdown, and it could be a massive sort of breakdown. Because if you look at this for a while, look, we've been right since the beginning of this year on how this is going to play out long term. We've been on the daily. For Bitcoin, we've been bullish all of this time. We've not descended into bearish territory since right here on this crossover in February when we started to make these moves. These moves at first were significant. They continue to be significant. Then they became a lot less. We never got that secondary bounce off of this move. It's a little bit muted. So we've obviously reached that resistance level. And the question now becomes, can we bust through this resistance level and start to get into one of these ranges? Now, 32,000 is the spot, by the way, where we have to come to capture, we have to capture that long-term liquidity. I'm going to pull that up for you guys real quick. So these, by the way, these are the low tiers, right? These are the not, this is not where you're fighting. This is where or this is not where you're fighting. This is where you're fighting. This is the hard stuff. This is the 3s, the 5s, and the 10s. This is the real big money making giant bets on cryptocurrency right now. There's your 10x longs here. You got a bunch of people still down here in this liquidity area right now. This will start to dissipate, by the way, at some point pretty soon if people decide, you know what, we've actually finally made it and we're not going lower. You'll start to see people like cashing those back out and putting them to the side. But also, we are on a 7-day liquidation right here. This is the higher risk leverage positions that you're seeing play out right now. And it tells me that 29,000 at least is the next level, maybe even 28,007 or 28,006 in this range right here. Like what you want to do is you want to scoop all this up and you want to wreck these people, because that provides you with a little bit of a liquidity injection to come back up here and do the same thing up here. And then once you've got this liquidity and you've got all these people who are shorting, actually they end up buying, and then boom, I mean, God damn it. They're selling, they're wrecking the price, they're bringing it down here, they're bringing it down here, they're bringing it down here. You're able to cash out on your shorts, and then boom, now you go long, and now you've added liquidity to the pool. And then boom, as you start to break these shorts, all of these positions right here, every time you liquidate them, they have to fill an order in order to be made whole. So all of these positions right here are buyers that are buying in. So what you want to see is you want to see that massive move right there. So that's what you're hoping to see. And if you can do enough of that in this swing, then boom, here you are. You get into this 32,000 liquidity pool. So from 32,000, 31.8 actually, from 31.8 all the way up to, let's call it right here, 33,500. There's an enormous amount of liquidity just sitting there. You could wreck if you just got a good run going on the market. This whole thing right here just gets wrecked, and the market just absolutely starts to moon. Now, in the meantime, what does that mean? That means that SHIB starts to moon. It means that SHIB hits that 15,441. We're getting real close to that number, by the way, and it's making me uncomfortable because I don't like being wrong about anything. So I get the feeling that, and by the way, even if this played out like at this point, like picture perfect, by the way, unless we get some real old SHIB God candles playing out, even if we just got the normal candles right now, it's gonna be like 13 or 1200. Like getting that 1500 is gonna be it hasn't played out. Voyager Digital did us no favors, of course, but it's not really just them. That market, Shibarium, they've done a very poor job, by the way, of promoting. So, it does have to be said that there's so much opportunity. Will it be broadcast live? Now, that's an interesting question. They're going to take the stage, and they're going to be public speaking. So there's the speakers are right here. So we're going to see Shitoshi as a speaker. The opening keynote is going to be Anthony DeOrio, Elena Sinella, Jesus Christ, don't say that name. Ethan Buckman, Carl from SHIB, Tiffany Lai, Dean Skurica, Billy Sebel, Nikki Kang. There's Marcy Jastro from the SHIB Metaverse. So there's going to be a lot of people here. Dawa Riley from the UX Architect for Shiba Inu. Scott Page from Pink Floyd Toto and Supertramp. What the fuck is going on here? Sherry Cuono from SHIB.io, the SHIB Metaverse Advisors. There's going to be a lot of SHIB conversations happening right now. So I think we're going to get super excited as we go along. We've got Vijay Neelakandan. He's an engineer on SSI. And then we've got who else do we have? There's gonna be some conversation about the Coinbase wallet. That would be interesting to hear what they plan on doing in the future. BitBoy is going to be there having a conversation. Maybe we're going to hear some stuff about Bencoin today. You never really know until you hear it happen. So as you keep going through here, angel investor, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it looks like so. Most of them are up at the top. So we're probably going to see. There's a lot of people speaking. By the way, it does have to be noted here that there are a lot of people that are going to be speaking here. Among them, major players in SHIB. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on in the SHIBverse, especially Shytoshi on the big picture for Shiba Inu. That's going to be probably the biggest conversation. And then Kyle talking about pioneering SHIB's technologies and futures. So, maybe, just maybe, we see something, do we see something that gives it a pump? Otherwise, this was it. This position, everything that we got here, maybe that's it, but I don't think so. I think that there is another rally getting ready for SHIB, and that this leg right here is just like, I really still feel like this was the spot right there. Like, I think that actually what I said originally was I think that the spot was going to be right at the 1200 line, but I kicked it up here because I'd been on this one for months and months and months and months. I thought that when there was a breakout that was going to be the line that got tested. So, I mean, maybe. But, I mean, the only thing that we can do now is wait, have a little patience, and figure it out. We're on the hour chart right now. Let's get on that. And let's look at our money flow indicator. Money flow is just flipping bearish to the downside on the chart. So that's on the 1 hour. On the 2 hour, we're still bearish on the 2 hour. On the 4 hour, we've been bearish for a few days since Voyager. We just flipped on the daily. On the 2-day, we're red. We're red on everything except for the weekly. Weekly is a big green. I mean, look at that. That's what the weekly has done. We get caught up in the minutia of all of these things that happen, but at the end of this, what we got was this gigantic move right here that's continued for a little while. So the question now is it done? I mean, that's really what we have to answer. And I don't know that I mean, here's the thing. We could make an argument that, that based on that formation, like maybe that's the area and maybe that's the cap right there. But that still means that we've still got that 1200. We've still got 4 zeros 12 to go. Otherwise, we're not even getting up. Like, that's a very bearish sort of sign that you would be seeing in SHIB, and it could be more a testament to the overall economy. But we're going to see what happens with the Dow Jones. Dow Jones started with a big red today, down 165. The SPY is down 1.74, so down about 0.5% to start the day off. So a lot of weird stuff happening. Broader markets here. Dub, this is Dubai, starting to pump again. Grumpy Cat at 44.04. Bone still at $1.50. Still waiting for that reversal where we get that next big move up there. We got to $1.80 not that long ago. $1.80. What is it? $1.85. Very close to that. I think it really kind of wicked more near $1.82. This is just one of those bots that made a big buy and sell. Volt 25.85, continuing its move, even though it's down a little bit from that 26 that it was pumping up to a little while ago. It is maybe reversing. I don't know yet. It's early to say. I still see some CoinRabbit buy and sell happening, so they could still be getting wrecked from CoinRabbit. 100x gems at 33.51, Advantage at 12.99, WAGMI at 15.33. WAGMI, by the way, releasing just daily. You're seeing all kinds of different reveals for this is for Apollyon, which is one of the aliens. So these are the players in the game. Then the day before, it was Apollyon. Nope, still Apollyon. The day before it was Temelicus. So they're creating the new characters are being like redone. Melkrose has been redesigned and redone. As you go down this list, you're seeing that all of these Commander Sartosis, which is, I think he's still an alien, has been redone. The aliens have been reworked completely. Leviathan has been reworked over and over again. And Leviathan, I think, is a human. So completely reworked. So WAGMI Games still doing their thing. Pepe 1346 continuing to push back down a little bit. Lillian Finance 2750. Ben 3509. No real reversal. I mean, there's got to be a reversal coming pretty soon. Deconnect, one of the developers, not a developer who does programming, but a developer who just decided at a point here that he was going to leave, just left. So he took a couple of ETH with him. Basically, he just kind of cashed out his bag, told everybody he was leaving. So, you know, not huge, but it's still a thing, you know. Something you don't want to see. But, I mean, you know, some people are just not going to be there at the end. That's the important thing, right? So, overall, I think that wraps it up. I expect to see a nice little run. I expect to still see a little bit of a run here for SHIB. We saw, and by the way, it does have to be stressed here. Like, you know, a lot of people are saying that maybe it's not going to happen. Like, I'm even questioning it at some point. But here's the important part. The important part is this. We saw Leash today have a 13% run out of nowhere. I have a belief here that we're going to see a big run from SHIB at least one last time before we put a pin in it for a little while and we start to see what can Bone do, what can SHIB do, how does this ecosystem start to manifest itself? Because once that Shibarium is launched, the biggest thing that everybody's been looking for has been burns. How much are we going to burn? And the answer to that, if you were to look at the trading volume on PuppyNet, it's going to be significant. But here's the big part. So yeah, that is potential. But here's the thing. I think it was manipulated by Voyager. So I'm going to hold out and see. I'm in a long right now. I'm going to hold on to it and just see how it plays out. I'm not really sure that we're going to see something positive. You know, I mean, I really can't say at this point. A lot of it is just wild speculation at this point. But that ETH Toronto, I don't feel like, I mean, what are we selling? You know what I mean? Like this is, to me, this was kind of a mini pump. Like this was not even 100%. And for SHIB to not pump 100% off of a big announcement like that, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I think that we're probably in the spot where there's a little bit more to go. There's going to be a little bit more buy pressure happening in the short term. So we'll see what happens here. The FOMO is going to start to build. We haven't heard Shibarium is coming. Once we hear Shibarium is coming, and by the way, if it launches, I'll change my tune. I'll be like, oh shit, time to sell. But if we get the announcement that it's coming, that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for the FOMO build. So if we get the FOMO build, then yeah, here we go. Leash, by the way, just started reversing and it's pumping again. So it's eating up the red candle that formed down to 635. We're getting pushed back up to 645 as of this moment after maxing out at 682. So there's a lot going on, a lot at play right now. And as this market starts to open up for the day in the U.S. market, it's very possible that we start to see a real big move. But if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. This is me on the way out, by the way. I think that this is going to be one of those days. I mean, we're going to find out what everybody's made of. I mean, that's for sure. I'm going to be watching all day long. If I can get any updates on ETH Toronto, then I will ship them out to you guys. I'll be doing it through shorts so that you guys know what's going on. So will Elon Musk be there? No. Too many people expect to be made financially free on Shibarium first day of launch. It takes time and promotion adoption. Hence, I am a long-term holder, 18 months at least. I'm a long-term holder of Bone and SHIB, but that doesn't mean that I don't play the market and I'm not sitting on a long that I think it could have an opportunity to pop and make a good amount. So, you know, like it just because I hold a long-term bag doesn't mean I don't do day-to-day trading. I mean, that's how you make money, you know? So tomorrow is allegedly the announcement, but we don't know that. As a matter of fact, nobody knows that. We're just waiting for that moment. And I hope that the announcement, by the way, this is the important part. I hope that announcement is that it's going live in a couple days, because that's how you create the FOMO. That's how you get the build. So we'll see how this plays out. But anyway, guys, it's not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Make sure that you're very careful in your trading today, because this market, Dow Jones is down 213 points right now. The NASDAQ just dropped 50 points. So it looks like there's a little blood in the water. Earnings reports are coming in. The earnings reports probably aren't looking as good as everybody wants them to. So we'll see what happens. But guys, be very careful in your trading, and we'll talk to you again very, very soon.
Whoa, another shot of the bullet. Loaded, got complex, cocking and pulling. That bottleneck look like the Loch Ness. What are we doing? I'm about to fall out, boy, and the proof's in the pudding. So can we forget about the things I said when I was drunk?